three largest asset managers in the world are buying more Coinbase stock. We saw Vanguard, BlackRock, and StateStreet all buy more Coinbase over the past quarter. We saw Vanguard increase exposure by about 1%. We saw BlackRock increase exposure by about 2%. And then StateStreet upped their holdings by 6%. We also saw Citadel, an active name, increase exposure by about 11%. We also saw Cathie Wood's ARK Invest Fund actually sell down their holdings by about 12%. So some buying, some selling, but definitely more buying than selling. And buying from the three largest asset managers in the world over the past quarter definitely signals bullishness. So good to see there. What I'll do in this video is I'll go over the Wall Street Analyst ratings. I'll go over a couple points from their recent investor pitch deck. And then I will cover some insider selling. And then at the end of the video, I will give you a price prediction for this stock. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So as I said, the largest asset managers in the world are buying more of the stock. Also, Fidelity increased exposure by 367%. So that's another active name there. Good to see there. And then it's also worth noting that Two Sigma Advisors increased exposure, hedge fund there. And then it's also worth noting that Norges Bank bought into the stock for the first time. Norges Bank being the largest sovereign wealth fund. So throughout the shareholder list, definitely seeing a ton of buying there. So that's good to see that this stock is being supported by the largest asset managers in the world. And then let's just take a look at what Wall Street thinks about this stock from a analyst perspective. So we have 8 buy ratings, 8 bullish ratings, and we have 7 bearish ratings. So that kind of can tell you that this stock is what some would refer to as a battleground stock, which really just means that there's a wide range of opinions on the stock market for this stock here. So interesting to see that we have kind of a battleground set up for the Wall Street Analyst ratings. And the most recent updates came from Goldman Sachs, which maintained their sell rating but upped their price target to $123. Also, we saw Needham up their price target to $160 with a buy rating. So those are the most 2 recent changes in terms of Wall Street Analyst ratings. And then with that being said, let's take a look at the regulatory landscape for Coinbase. So 83% of G20 and major financial hubs have either passed national crypto legislation or have crypto regulations in place. So the US has been pretty slow to kind of, green light crypto. China has done it, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, the UK, the EU, France, these major countries have done it. UAE, the only issue is the US hasn't jumped on this train yet. I think they will. And what I've been hearing from, people that are in the industry is that all these regulations will be approved pretty much at one time. So I think within the next 6 to 12 months, we'll see a huge slew of regulatory approvals and also a bunch of different other Bitcoin and really Ethereum ETFs being approved as well. So I think we'll get a ton of good news over the next year or so for crypto. And really, as the industry develops and matures, I think Coinbase will continue to separate from the pack. And one of the reasons why I like Coinbase so much and why I think the investment is superior to some of the miners is because when you buy Coinbase stock, you're basically buying the crypto industry. So you're essentially betting that crypto volumes will continue to rise, which will continue to kick back profits to Coinbase. And when all of these ETFs and institutions are able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's all going to happen on Coinbase. It will happen on Coinbase because Coinbase is the most trusted crypto exchange in the world. In fact, it's the only one crypto exchange that is publicly traded, which opens it up to a ton of regulatory scrutiny. So if you're publicly traded in the US markets, you have to open up your books to financial regulators. So they have more regulations in place. They have more eyes on their books than any other major crypto exchange in the world. Therefore, they're really the most trusted crypto exchange in the world, which is why institutional money, when they go out and they buy physical Bitcoin, they're going to do it on Coinbase. They're not going to do it on Binance. They're not going to do it on Gemini and other smaller crypto exchanges. They're going to do it on the most reliable and the most regulated crypto exchange, which is Coinbase, which is one of the reasons why I like Coinbase. And it's really my number one crypto stock, because buying Coinbase is essentially buying crypto in general. It's buying the long-term viability of the crypto sector. You're not buying Bitcoin, you're not buying Ethereum, you're simply buying the fact that, or not the fact, but the expectation that crypto will continue to gain popularity and be used all throughout the world. So there's an old saying: if you want to get rich in a gold rush, sell pickaxes. I really do think Coinbase is essentially selling the pickaxes and shovels that are associated with the crypto industry. So really do see this company as a very safe investment within the crypto space. And then with that being said, though, let's take a look at the most recent insider selling that we've seen from the stock. So we saw about 650,000 shares sold by insiders at this company. This doesn't really scare me, because it's very typical within a company that has gone public within the past couple of years. So usually when a company goes public over the next couple of years, as lockup periods expire, it's very common for these folks who have been paid in stock to go out and sell their stock. So that's very common, and I don't see it as concerning whatsoever. So the selling of Coinbase stock really isn't concerning to me whatsoever. It doesn't signal any red flags, because this company had IPO'd in 2021. It's just very new, and it's very common for earlier or recently IPO'd companies to see some insider selling. So not concerning whatsoever there. And then let's talk about the balance sheet for Coinbase. So Coinbase has $5.1 billion in cash. They have $3.2 billion in debt. So that means that they have $1.9 billion more cash than they do debt, which is always good to see when a company isn't EPS positive. It's good to see that they have significant cash on hand to fund its future operations. Coinbase does have that. So balance sheet is set up to continue to fund operations, and who knows, maybe even have a strategic, buyout or acquisition in there. Who knows? They have $1.9 billion in cash to spare. And then with that being said, let's give a price prediction for this stock. So we're coming off a test resistance at around $160, which is where shares had bottomed in January, February, and March of 2022. Past support acts as new resistance. Therefore, I think this 160 level could act as resistance for this stock. And it's also worth noting that we are above all daily moving averages. We're also outperforming the broader market, so that's definitely two good signals. But what I don't like here is that we are unfortunately overbought according to RSI, which could lead to somewhat of a decline from the stock. So how I think this plays out is we see a move down to support at around $120, which is where shares had topped out roughly in July and in August. Therefore, I think this past level of resistance would act as new support. So I think we get a move down to 120 in the short term, and we see this level hold, and then we see that larger move higher for Coinbase. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just making a price prediction based on technical analysis, not giving my long-term end-all be-all price target. I think the stock could be much higher in the long term. But right now, I think we come down to support at 120. We hold that level, and then we see a move higher up to 160 resistance once again. So that's my price prediction. I believe we see a pullback on the backs of overbought conditions according to RSI for Coinbase. So with that being said, covered a lot in today's video. I really do love this stock long term. It's a very safe investment within the crypto space. As I said, you're basically buying the long-term viability of the crypto industry rather than buying any one individual mining stock or whatever crypto correlated stock may be out there that you're interested in. But I think Coinbase is the safest crypto investment in the market right now. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do a like and subscribe. I'll see you here next time.